pencil already scrolls across her notebook. I peek at Junior Gearhart's page. He's writing about how many generations his family has lived in Lariat County. On my other side, Ernesto draws a picture of a shaggy Angora goat wearing an American flag on his page. He looks at me and winks, but I have no idea what to write. Pop was born right here in Soledad, just like me. So that makes me American, right? But Mommy was born in Caimanera, Cuba, right outside of Guantanamo Bay, where Pop worked on a naval ship in 1938. I speak Spanish with her and English with Pop at home. We eat arroz con pollo just as much as we eat beef stew with potatoes. Mommy and I read Julián del Casal's poems before bed, while Pop tells me about his favorite Western novel, Shane. But Mommy says not to speak Spanish in town. She always brings chocolate cake to the church potlucks instead of tres leches or natilla. And when I tried to write about the Cuban poet José Martí for school, Mrs. Pritchard suggested I pick the American poet Robert Frost instead. Does the Cuban part of me not belong in the United States? Hey, Pete, Junior whispers next to me, interrupting my thoughts. You and Ernie going to the Five and Dime after school? I want to look at the baseball cards. I bite my lip to keep from correcting Junior, even though we've been friends since we were in diapers. He's always called me Pete. I guess Pineda and Ernesto create an English-only logjam in Junior's mouth. I've never gotten the courage to correct him. What if he only wants to be friends with the American me and not the Cuban me? Mrs. Pritchard, what's that noise? Patsy asks as I continue staring at my blank paper. She points to the window panes shaking from a low rumbling sound filling the classroom. I push my composition book aside as the noise gets louder and deeper, filling my ears and shaking my desk enough to roll my pencil off the surface and onto the floor. I squint at the classroom windows as the glass vibrates. Big puffy clouds sit in the sky as a flock of black birds sails in the wind. Smaller birds pour down from the clouds, drifting toward the ground. I look harder and realize something. Those aren't birds. They're airplanes. Are those people? Ernesto asks next to me, pointing to the black dots tumbling out of the airplanes. The whole class gets up from their desks, chair scraping loudly against the floor, and stands at the window, watching as over 100 parachutes fall from the sky. Huge, big-bellied airplanes sail through the air, rumbling the glass I have my hands pressed against. The parachutes disappear behind a tall courthouse dome in the center of the town square, but not before I see what each man has strapped across his chest. A rifle. My throat starts to close. Pop tells me not to worry about the war that's going on halfway across the globe in Korea. He says we have nothing to fear from the Soviet Union. But then why do we have drills every month, telling us the worst might happen? Is the worst happening right now? Ma'am, who are those men? What are they doing? I turn and ask Mrs. Pritchard as my heartbeat pounds in my stomach. But she isn't looking out the window. She's whispering to Principal Mitchell, who's appeared in our classroom, his eyebrows knit in a tight line as he purses his lips. The murmuring in class increases as another flock of large planes sails above town. I can feel the low growl of their engines in my chest. Ernesto nudges me with his elbow. What the baloney is going on, Pineda? I shake my head, unable to come up with an answer. Every single time I crouched under my desk and covered my head. I thought it was practice for something that would never actually happen. But seeing men fall from the sky right into town makes my stomach drop to my loosely laced chucks. Was Bert the Turtle right all along? Mrs. Pritchard claps, making the whole class jump. Children, line up at the door. We're heading to the town square, she announces. Everything happens so quickly. We don't even question her. Our class of 15 sixth graders follows each other down the hallway and out the front doors of the school. Every other class marches in lines with us. My shirt sticks to my back with sweat as we leave Soledad School and walk the 2 blocks in the sun toward the town square. But I'm not sweating because of the heat. It's because Mrs. Pritchard still won't tell us what's going on. We pass the Five and Dime and Soledad Cafe, both completely empty of customers. The sidewalk around the square is crammed with people craning their necks to the sky, looking for more thundering airplanes. Ernesto stumbles into my back as we walk. his gaze on the
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.